everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Alex and I make book and coaching and lifestyle and business content. Welcome in. Okay, so in today's episode of Vlogmas, we are doing my December TBR. We are a little bit late to my December TBR because I've been so focused on Vlogmas, I haven't actually got round to it yet. We are currently 2 books in already to December though, so there will be books I've already read in December not on this list, and there will be books I am very much looking forward to reading also on this list. Let us begin with the books I've already read because it kind of makes sense to start there. So in Vlogmas we have a couple of books that I've already picked up in one of my book hauls. I went book shopping, we did a haul, we're doing a reading vlog, so those books from there are in my December TBR. There is one of the books I've already got through, and that is, do I even have it here? I have a stack and I don't think I've got it. No. Spark of the Everflame. So I've already read book 1. I have also already read book 2. So I've read Spark of the Everflame and Glow of the Everflame. I read Glow of the Everflame in one day, like 24 hours. I read that book non-stop pretty much. I think it took me about 8 or 9 hours to finish. I did the first reading stint very late into the night of that 24-hour period, and I finished it like I slept for a couple of hours and then woke up and read it again the next morning. Now, was that a wise decision? Absolutely not. Did I have a mile-long to-do list of things that I actually needed to get done? Yes, I did. Did I still spend 8 hours of my day and my sleep reading this book? Also, yes, I did. We're not going to talk about being irresponsible when it comes to reading because, as we all know, as book lovers, when you are addicted to turning those pages, not very much can convince you to put them down. And I think I honestly fell asleep reading and then like woke up with like my Kindle smashed to my face and like sleep everywhere, drooling on my Kindle. Like, it was one of those sessions. So those 2 books are on my December TBR, have already been completed. So I thought I would just mention them really quickly at the start of this video so that you know some of these books I have already read. Now, on to the next few books. I'm going to really quickly skim through them for my December TBR list because I've already talked about them more in depth in my book haul video that was a couple of videos ago in Vlogmas. So we have these 3 titles, hopefully. They're gonna focus. So we have these 3 titles. We have The Inheritance Games. Hopefully you can see this and it's actually like focusing on me well. The Inheritance Games, which is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It is a kind of mystery, a $1 billion fortune gets handed to a very unsuspecting person that is not within the direct family. We have this kind of like, I think, murder mystery. I'm honestly not sure. It says a deadly game, winner takes all, so like potential murder happening, potential, yeah, family fighting, family feuds, that kind of thing. So we have The Inheritance Games. If you want the full synopsis and my thoughts on reading this one, head to that book haul video where I talk about it in a little bit more in depth. Also, we have What You Were Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. I'm a couple chapters into this. Actually, I don't think it does chapters because it's like such a short story, but I am going to try and sit down and read this tomorrow and finish it in like a couple hour stint because 240 pages really doesn't take me that long. Like I said, I read Spark of the Everflame in like 2 sittings. I read Glow of the Everflame in like 2 sittings. Again, I think a 240 page book. I'll get through it. I'm also, I think, 30 or 40 pages into it so far, so we'll get this done hopefully tomorrow. And then Swordcatcher, I do think I'm gonna read this on my Kindle simply because it's quite hefty, like it's quite dense, and my hands cramp so easily when I'm reading dense books. So this is on Kindle Unlimited currently, if you wanted to grab it and you have Kindle Unlimited. So Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Gonna read it on my Kindle, but I haven't cracked the pages yet, so I really still don't know what the story is about. Again, if you want the full synopsis and my thoughts coming to reading this one, head to that book haul video. So those are the titles I've already discussed in another video. One further one I have, which is one of my Christmassy reads, is Make the Season Bright, and I talked about that in my winter reading recommendations video. So this kind of December TBR is like an amalgamation of a few different videos I've already filmed, because I just want to pick up some of the things I've talked about previously. So yeah, Make the Season Bright is like a queer romance. It sounds very cute, it sounds very rom-com, and I think it'll be another really quick read. Like, it will only take me a few hours to get through that. So hopefully over Christmas time, when I'm taking a break from all of my work a little bit, I will get time to sit down and read Make the Season Bright. I'm very excited for that one. I think it's just going to be like a cutesy, fun, like ditzy a little bit kind of romance, and I'm very much looking forward to that. It's very much a Christmas palette cleanser. So with some of these, I've got a lot of fantasy and a lot of like high stakes, so I think Make the Season Bright is going to be the perfect addition to palette cleanse from all of the high stakes kind of reading. We only have 2 more books on December's TBR list because I didn't want to overwhelm myself, since I have so much work to do with the business, with my coaching, with the rebrand, with Vlogmas and everything. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with too many reads, so we only have 2 more books to go. Now, one of those is a continuation of a book I read last month. I think it was in November's TBR list. Was it in November's? Let me double check that. Yes, so Six of Crows, which is the first book in the duology. It took me so long to get that word there. The first book in the duology was Six of Crows, and I loved Six of Crows. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5-star. If not, it was a 4.75, thinking back, if I can get it right. I think it was either a 4.75 or a 5-star, and it was just honestly so good. I loved it so much. And Crooked Kingdom is a continuation of that story. So we are still in the Grishaverse with this book. We are following our scoundrels into the next chapter, shall we say, of what was going on in the first book. So I can't really talk about this too much because obviously it's a continuation book. So if I spoil the first book, you'll be very mad at me. But I do feel like a lot of book talk, bookish, booktube girls have already read the Six of Crows duology. I am just late to the party, but I'm very much on the bandwagon now. And I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. It is very accessible, I'd say. Like, it's YA, I'm pretty sure. Leigh Bardugo's writing is very accessible. Like, if you're wanting to dip your toes into fantasy, you want something compelling and like you can really feel all of the emotions that great fantasy gives you without having so much of like the kind of impossible world building side that can kind of creep into fantasy sometimes. Leigh Bardugo's writing will absolutely do it for you. So we've got the Shadow and Bone trilogy, we've got the Six of Crows duology, we've got, I think, continuation books from the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So like, yeah, spin-off characters from that series I think have a duology themselves. And then Leigh Bardugo has, I think, more adult books. So if you are steering clear of YA fantasy, head on to Leigh Bardugo's adult works. I think there are a few there. Ninth House specifically, I've tried to pick up and I DNF'd it because I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. I think that was more to do with the fact that it was just not the correct space for my brain to be at that point, rather than the actual writing or the plot. But I do think it is a little bit more complex to get your head around. So if you are someone that loves Dune, let's say, and you really love like this impossibly complex, like massively world building, very much its own language, its own like its own universe, maybe Ninth House would be a great Leigh Bardugo book for you. But that's not what we're here for today. I'm getting sidetracked. We are on the December TBR video. So yeah, Crooked Kingdom is the continuation book. I'm very, very excited to read this one. I loved all of the characters in the first book. I very much got deeply connected to all of them. All of our scoundrels, all of our, yeah, I'm just going to call them scoundrels. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens next in the story. The final book in my December TBR list is Fourth Wing. I've been umming and ahhing over whether I was going to read Fourth Wing. I've heard a plethora of reviews. Some people loving it, some people thinking it's like mid to like upper tier in their kind of reading. I'm very curious to see what I think of it. I've tried to steer clear of it whilst there was so much hype, because I feel like it really does influence whether you are biased towards the book or not. If you've like watched a review recently, or like someone's done an in-depth synopsis, thought pattern, whatever on a book, I feel like I get very swayed and biased towards my reading experience, and I quite like to be neutral. Like, I'm very happy to dislike a book that everyone loves. I'm very happy to love a book that everyone loves. I'm very neutral in that sense. I'm not someone that kind of wants to rant about books and get aggy about them, or someone that loves to die over books and like 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. I'm quite a neutral in that kind of sense. So I very much like to keep my reading patterns slightly away from trended books and like slightly away from trended things, because yeah, I just really love to have a very holistic reading experience that isn't influenced by other people's thoughts and opinions. So I've stayed clear of Fourth Wing up until this point. I'm pretty sure book 3 or book 4 potentially is coming out, or it's already out and I've just missed the memo. So yeah, I thought in December, let's pick up Fourth Wing. Let's see what the hype is about. I think it's dragons, it's romantasy, it's fantasy. So I'm very excited to see what it's actually all about, because I really don't know anything more than that. You know what I'm like? I don't know anything about a book going into it. Sometimes I don't even read the description. I just hear someone say it's good, and then I'm like, you know what? It's going on the TBR list. I know nothing else about it other than someone I trust has said it's good. So yeah, that is all I have to say about Fourth Wing. If you are... Actually, that is not all I have to say about Fourth Wing. I want to read you the description, because I'm pretty sure it's the only book on this whole TBR list that I haven't read the synopsis for, and it's not a continuation of a series. So this is the first book in a series. So we're going to read the synopsis. It says, friends, enemies, lovers, everyone has an agenda. Violet Sorrengail expected to live a quiet life surrounded by books until she was forced onto the world's deadliest training ground. Now she must fight to join the army's elite, dragon riders. But dragons don't choose fragile riders, they incinerate them. And when your body breaks as easily as Violet's does, death is only a heartbeat away. Every night could be your last. Many cadets would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just because of her last name, including the ruthless Xaden. We're going with Xaden. Xaden Rierson, her family's greatest enemy. With the odds stacked against her, Violet must use every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Because once you enter... Bro, what does that say? Basgaia? Once you enter Basgaia War College, there are only 2 ways out. Graduate or die. One thing I love to hate about fantasy and fantasy worlds are the kind of names they choose. Sometimes I honestly feel like people pull a name out of random letters and just expect you to know what it says. Basgaia War College. What is that about? Xaden Rierson. Violet Sorrengail. Katniss Everdeen. Like, what's going on? It honestly does make me chuckle how strange some of the names are. And it winds me up, because then I'm like, I can barely remember the main 2 people's names, let alone all of these like random realms, random worlds, random school names. Make it make sense. Can we not just have like School of Magic? Can we not just have Dragon Training Camp? We'll see, we'll see. But I'm very excited to read this. I have got it on Kindle already because yeah, no, I do have it on Kindle already. It was, I think, a deal a while ago, so I thought I'd pick it up whilst it was on a deal. It is, right now, I've got Amazon up, it's $5.99 on Kindle right now, or you can get a paperback for $5.50. So if you want it on your shelf, maybe grab the paperback and then you could, yeah, read it as many times as you want and have it on your bookshelf. But yeah, those are all of the reads I've got on my December TBR list. I'm very, very excited to get into all of these. As always, I will give you a roundup at the end of the month, if not a reading vlog, where you will see some of these reads in Vlogmas. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That is all from me, guys. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of Vlogmas and the roundup of December's video. So yeah, that is it from me. I will see you in the next Vlogmas video. Bye, guys.